Yo, it's Guido, guys, coming back at you with an update for Baldur's Gate 3 and Guido Bland, the okayest level fighter in all of Faerun. We are just about. I was going to say I'm finishing chapter 1, but I do believe.
I leave them for the faithful,
Hush!
and in no state to tell tales.
Shh. I am in the Zentarum, don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, hideout. And I'm considering whether I'm going to fight all these guys. We'll get to that in a little while. I thought I was done with chapter 1, but I think actually getting out of here, either through the Underdark or through the Darkness Valley or whatever they call it. There's two ways to do it. Apparently one is harder than the other. I'm at level 5. I should be somewhere around level 7 when I get to chapter 2. So, long story short, thought I was done with chapter 1, but I think I still have the Underdark part to do. We're about to dive into that. As soon as I figure... Shush!
Don't want open flames.
Apparently there's a lot of explosives in here that I've found, and this woman, she talks a lot. We got Zeres over here. So we're about to figure out whether we want to take them on. Here's the problem, guys. The thing we've run into, Guido Bland, although I haven't flung any gnomes into space via the mill launching mechanism lately, mistakes have been made. Mistakes have been made. Now, I found, well, first of all, let's back up. There's spoilers, guys. I don't know how we can talk about this without spoilers. Also, see this dead spectator? Hold on a minute. We'll talk about that as well. I found a couple fellers who were being attacked by gnolls. Okay? That's how you pronounce it. They're gnolls, all right? And they had phalanx with them as well, I believe. And maybe some kind of spellcasting gnoll as well. Also, when I ran my wizard up to the high ground to hide, one of the little buggers chased him. That's actually pretty good. That's pretty good. They were not going to let the spellcaster do that unmolested. Good old Gale down there. So anyway, we find these two jokers, and they're fighting the gnolls, or they're about to fight the gnolls. So naturally, I join in because I am Guido Bland, the okayest fighter at level 5 in all of Faerun. I'm like, hey, these guys are under duress. Let's go ahead and help them out. So we do that, and they're gnolls, right? They're meant to be. Really, what are they actually? Bags of XP. Okay, pick up the pace of what? I'm talking here, lady. This is a bad place to talk to you fellas. Let's go down here where we don't hear her. Okay, there we go. That's much better. Anywho, we're helping them with the gnolls. Well, of course, being the geniuses that they are, and my assumption here is that you're supposed to save them. They both got nuked. And I didn't bother resurrecting him. I don't even know if I can. I don't know if Revivify works on NPCs or not, but I didn't even bother. You know why? Because they had a bunch of treasure, and I took it. Okay? And one of the things was some kind of chest, which I naturally opened, because I got two guys, they're not going to use it. What are they going to use it for? Now, there was some information, perhaps, if one read it, that maybe somebody was looking for it and do not open said package. But of course, as I click on everything and take everything, because I am Guido Bland, the okayest level 5 fighter in all of Faerun, we opened it. Natch. Well, the problem now is, in this Zentarum hideout, which I have managed to talk my way into the middle of, and that Ceres Wares person, she's still yelling back there, is in charge. There's lots of explosives in here, by the way. So when I talked to her, she's like, hey, I got a job for you. I need you to find these two guys. And I said, you know what? I already did that job. Let's talk about money, lady. All right? She said, well, where are they? I'm like, I'm sorry. The gnolls got them. They dead. All right? And she says, well, I'm looking for a package they had. I said, no problem. Here it is. So I pulled out this vial thing. I'm like, there you go. And she got super mad and immediately attacked me. At which point I went back to a prior save because I had other stuff to do. I'm like, you and me, we'll fight later, lady. All right? It was a pretty good fight anyway. So that's kind of why I'm sitting here thinking about whether I want to take her on. And it brings me to several other points with this game in terms of saving and checking things out. Now, this is eminently replayable, I believe. Obviously, you're going to run into a lot of the same situations, but there's a lot of different ways to do it, which is the reason for that whole rigmarole there, the whole story, the whole sordid story. Obviously, I don't have a save or wasn't paying close enough attention back then to go back and try to keep those guys alive and see where that goes. So the Zentarum are some kind of, I think, thieves guild or some such thing. So, of course, that's going to reverberate through the rest of the game. I don't think they're going to like me much. They did have a merchant downstairs that I wanted to talk to, and he wasn't going to show me the good stuff until I got in good with the boss. Well, it looks like I can't do that now based on the selections that I have, because I've already opened up a box that I ran into pretty well before I ever found this place. And you're going to run into that a bit with this game. You're going to, on occasion, get to a spot on the map, do something that is not a prerequisite or has a prerequisite that you'll find some other time, and whatever you've done there might then affect dealing with that. So if you want to do it in all the right order, you got to be very careful on how you go to certain places. This was the only kind of major one I think I found, to be honest. But because it's so open world and you can more or less go kind of wherever you want on the map in the chapter you're in, you're going to find that happening to you quite a bit. But let's talk about a few of the, how do we say it? A few of the, things I've found out, I guess. First with the negatives is what I was trying to babble there. Some of the negatives in the game, now and these are mechanical things. The HUD will randomly go away on occasion, although to be honest, in the last week or two I haven't seen it. So I don't know if maybe they patched that. You will get stutter if you play for quite a while, and the fix to that is just shut down the game and come back into the game, and that will go away. I don't know if that got fixed either, because I also have not seen that, although I also haven't put in 3 or 4 hour sessions recently, and that's when it seems to happen, about 2 or 3 hours in. Memory leak or whatever the case may be right there. You spend a lot of time running around finding things. There's presumably about 80 hours of content here, but if you're a completionist and you do a lot of what they call scum saving, which I think is a really stupid term, by the way. Scum saving? Dude, I'm playing a single player game. Who cares if I save and try to get a best result or change it? You know what I mean? Make your own story, fellas. Make your own story. But anyway, I've done a significant amount of that, trying to figure out different things. And I've managed to explode myself in many places, or at least just plain old get run over. And sometimes because there's a decent amount of randomness, especially in dice rolls, RNG, if you will, and the different kinds of abilities and things, and places where your character may be in a very dangerous situation. Like I just had one pushed off a cliff by a guy, and he just immediately got killed. And that was just based on how the fight started. My guy was standing next to the cliff, and that dude had initiative, and off my dude goes and morts. So there's a lot of stuff like that that the dice rolls will take into account, and you might find yourself wanting to resave because your whole party got wiped out, or reload anyway from a previous save. So you will find yourself running around a lot. That being said, 80 hours, I think I'm probably going to spend a lot more than 80 just on this one run through as I explore different areas. I think, honestly, and especially if you took the lowest level skill or the lowest level of difficulty, and there happens to be 3, I'm on the second one, you can probably just go right through it and see the whole, more or less the main quest line without really bothering to check everything out. And that might leave you a little more playability on the way out. But I believe if you're going to do especially the hardest level, you probably want to get everything out of it that you can. So it's something to think about. The dice rolls are great and sucky at the same time, and I'm more talking about the skill checks, and there are a lot of them in the game. It's pretty cool when the dice comes up and you figure out your pluses and minuses. Generally, it is off of some kind of dialogue selection, but sometimes it's just a random thing that happens as you're moving along, and you got to roll for whatever it is. You do have some skills and things that will let you roll more than once, so that is helpful. I did not find the dice rolls to be detrimental necessarily, although sometimes you can get unlucky, and in an important kind of place where you really want that dice roll to work, it won't go your way. My suggestion is, if you're really worried about it, make sure you save, and then you can come back in. If you want to just take what the world throws at you in Faerun, then enjoy yourself and go on, but I just warn you that those things are there. And generally, they seem easy enough in terms of the numbers required that for most of the main questline stuff, it's going to happen for you. Also, it also appears in some of the dialogue trees, dialogue trees, you're going to get to an appropriate point for the mission or for the quest in any event, and generally the extra dialogue selections where you're rolling dice to be clever are kind of icing on the top, or will give you a little more information. But generally, you're still going to go in the right direction. I haven't found one that if you failed, then you're dead and you can't go on and there's no fixing it kind of thing. I suppose there's probably some that can be quite painful in there as well. But I haven't found anything where I go, oh, that's just dumb, and it just wipes you out kind of idea. So reloads. You're going to end up doing a lot of that. And that's kind of the only real negative stuff. The only other one I'll throw out mechanically is it is a click to move. As you can see, I'm left clicking to move my guy around, and then you hold down, at least in the way I have mine mech'd. Obviously you can change these things around. I hold down the scroll wheel and then I can spin as well, and the right button doesn't seem to do anything. Okay, well, right button brings up stuff on whatever you're highlighting. It is really easy in tight spots as you're kind of clicking around to all of a sudden, jump into a dialogue.
I can't, in fact, none of us can.
See, lose it. Okay.
I don't want to know what happens if we lose.
Okay, yep, great. And leave.
Do.
All right. So it's really easy to do that. Now, beholder guy, or spectator, which is not quite a beholder. This is a lower level kind of thing, I believe. Not quite a beholder. That was in the vial thing that this lady was looking for, which is kind of funny because what I did is I came in here and I opened up that vial and out came the spectator and they helped me beat it. And then she's like, whatever, dude. It's just a dead spectator. We had this big battle and now she's just mad that somehow she doesn't know, right? Maybe well, that's a good point. She seems to think she doesn't know what's in it either. She's just trying to get that package to the right person. So she didn't know. There you go. Anywho, that was pretty funny. We took that down. I say that because there's a lot of interesting ways to beat different things in this game. And that's just one of them right there. An example of that. I kind of knew it was going to be a tough monster. So I just came in here. I said, well, I know these people are still alive. Let's see if I open this up and whatever comes out. Because I didn't know what was in it at the time. Maybe these guys will help me fight it. Hopefully I don't have to fight all of them, which I kind of expected might happen as well, but it didn't. And these guys helped me, and we took this thing down pretty quickly, which I thought was funny. All right. In addition to, and also, getting experience. I noted earlier that there's a lot of ways to get through different things. Like you can dialogue your way through, you can persuade, you can intimidate, and all these different things you can do. Which is cool because then you can kind of bypass some fights and things like that. The only problem with things like that in this game is you don't seem to get any experience for those things. For example, when I went to the windmill that flung the knoll, or not knoll, but gnome, there was 7 or 8, 10 goblins there, and that's experience. Well, I talked them out of it, out of a fight, and they ran off. And there goes all that experience with it. And I don't remember getting any experience for that talking. If it happens, I'm not seeing it. I don't think it's there. So think about that. Some of the things you might want to just fight just to get the experience. It seems like a bit of a disconnect, to be quite honest. Especially on monsters that run off that you'll never see again. I think they should give you some experience for talking your way out. It doesn't have to be the full thing for what you would get for fighting them, but there you go. But I haven't had any real trouble getting experience to get to level 5. Level 5 is kind of a significant point for Dungeons and Dragons characters, especially for fighters. They get an extra attack at 5. All the levels give you something, but 5 seems to be fairly significant for all of them. And especially for the wizards like Gale, he gets access to level 3, and as well as the cleric. That's the first level which you get access to level 3 spells, and they are quite a step up from level 2. Fireball, lightning, some of these other good spells that you can use for area of effect things and take down significant numbers of people. So level 5, here we are. Let's talk about real quickly the rest of your companions. I think I can actually go into the camp here. I think I've found all of the companions that I'm going to find in this particular chapter. And that is Shadowheart, Asterion, Gale. Let's see, there's a dog you can get. I got Scratch. I don't know what he does, but he's hanging out here. We've got Lizelle. Although that's one of the first ones you find. You already saw her. I don't use her much because she's a fighter. And 2 fighters takes a slot for other things I can use. So the slots I'm using is a cleric, a thief, essentially. Although he's a rogue, yeah. Cleric, they call them rogues now. and a wizard. Pretty standard setup, right? Nothing fancy right there. I don't have any of the hybrids in there. Lazelle's just another fighter, so I don't really need 2 fighters. I have brought her into the party a couple times because she has a mission. Is he whining about the... I thought he was whining about his needing to eat magic items. I don't know. So I brought her into the mission into the group to do a mission. I did find Will. I don't know if I have any use for him. I don't even know what he is. He's like a warlock or something. He's got a devil inside of him. By the way, all these people have these weird backstories. I think it's a little overdone, to be quite honest. Like Karlach has an infernal engine, doesn't have a heart or something. The demons took her. She's a tiefling, but she has an infernal engine and whatever. I don't know what's going on with that. Asterion is a vampire, of course. Why not? Of course, you have to have a vampire. I don't know. You've got that's not actually a guy that can come into your party. That's a druid from the Druid Grove. He's hanging out. I'm collecting quite a group of people to hang out in my camp. Will, like I said, is a warlock or some such thing. So he's got some crazy backstory with a deal with a devil idea. This is just Volo, who is apparently... I thought he was a bard, but I'm not exactly sure what he is. He hangs out. He's not really a character that can go with you. We got Gale, who's a wizard. And we've got Withers, who's a level 1 undead that I found in another dungeon, and for some reason has decided to hang out with me as well. I'm not really sure. Honestly, I am sort of sure what he does. His function in the game is he will allow you to change your class and to re-roll and to reset your character if you've messed him up. I actually kind of like that. They've built that, baked it into the game. If you get to level 5, you pay some money, but you look at it and go, I don't really like the way I've built this thing. I need to change that. And maybe you just want to, just for giggles. And you go to him and you pay him and he'll set that up for you. And then we got Shadowheart. She's the cleric. So pretty decent amount of people sitting around in my camp. It's very strange that at any point I can enter into this crazy camp right here. Now, you do have a traveler's chest. Here's a weird little thing. There are a couple versions of the camp. This seems to be like the underground version right here. In the above ground version, I have another chest that I actually picked up and brought in, and I don't know where that is here. And if it's in here, it's in a weird place. So I'm not sure if maybe whatever's in that too is trapped in that other camp. So that was a little bit weird. But this chest is in all the camps, so if you're going to put stuff in there, this is the chest you should use right here, just as a small warning. So we'll leave camp. What are some of the things that I've done, man? I mean, it's been a lot of fun. I've enjoyed this quite a bit. It really is a good game. It's got... there's a lot of ways to do things, as I noted earlier. The combat's quite good. All the D&D stuff in there that you either love or hate is in there as well. There's a lot of options for combat. I mean, you can throw potions or you can take potions, you can throw like bombs and stuff. There's different attacks you can use. Obviously the spells with the spellcasters and things. It just a lot of options on how to fight in this game. There's also a lot of options to not fight in the game. So what are some of the things I've done? Well, I survived the plane crash, right? The crazy octopus plane thing we were in on the first one. Survived that. We found Lazelle. Got together. I met the vampire dude, Asterion, who is... Shall we address one of the elephants in the room? I'm going to try to keep this brief. There is a lot of what they call romances between the characters, specifically you and all the other NPCs. Do what you want with that. It's a little bit overdone, I think. It seems to creep into every daggum thing that happens and you do, and it does drive you a little bit crazy. Asterion is, well, he's male for one thing, and it doesn't seem to matter really what type of person you're playing. Is that going to keep me out of trouble? They all seem interested in you, in other words. And Asterion is not my type, I guess we would say. So I don't know. I have done my best to ignore most of that. I'm wondering if I'm missing some of the possibilities in terms of dialogue and stuff, but maybe that doesn't matter because I probably don't really want to go down many of those routes. So I just throw that out there. You're going to find that kind of stuff going on. The Githyanki Lizelle is just angry all the time. She's a warrior from the astral plane, so she's Johnny Badarse out there. She's a real peach. You got Shadowheart. She's a daughter of darkness. I think, and she worships Shar or something like that. I think that's the god. I'm not 100% certain she really does, to be honest. That's an interesting one. We'll see what happens with that background because she doesn't seem to be like the demon devil person worshiping darkness and all that stuff. But there's also a piece to this in the current culture of this general idea of gradations of good and bad, and is bad really good and is good really bad and all that kind of stuff. So I'm not really sure where we're going with old Shadowheart right there. I did pull Gale the wizard from a rock. He was stuck in it. He was actually apparently also on the ship. The ship, all those little tadpoles they put in our brains. There's a lot more people like that, not just the people in our party. In fact, all these people have one of these things, and I believe everyone in your party essentially has them, to include a lot of the bad guys and whatever. So this is kind of the overarching thing going on here. Storyline is that somebody's put all of these tadpoles, they call them, in people's brains, and the assumption is at some point they're going to all turn into mind flayers, or maybe they're trying to be controlled. I don't know. And now you've got different factions trying to take advantage of that thing. What else? We found a Gruid Drove with a refugee situation, and we stopped a coup. We stopped a lady from trying to kill a child. That was a little dark. So we stopped that. We stopped the Druid Usurper. Although that kind of came out, everyone, more or less happy with each other. And that's why that Halsin guy is with us. Because now he wants to go somewhere else. And so he's just riding along with us in the camp. I don't know where they go when we leave camp. I don't know if they, they just plod along. I've never seen a horse. I don't know how they carry everything. I can't answer those questions. We helped a bard finish a song, and then she had a bit of a concert. Actually, that was kind of cool. Actually, it wasn't really a bad song, and the production value, at least, was pretty darn good. The cutscene was a little bit cheesy at times, but whatever, man. It was a pretty full-up song, and the production value was nice, so I actually sort of enjoyed that just as a curiosity. We saved a person from a bugbear assassin. I didn't even know bugbears had assassins, but apparently they do. Met some people that called me a true soul, and I helped them out, and then they were ready to follow me, they were ready to follow me as their brand new leader, and then I said one thing wrong, and they attacked me. That was interesting. Found an old ruined monastery, blew it up, found some stuff. Oh no, I blew up. Then I found some stuff. So we talked about that on Coffee Talk a couple weeks ago. Found an owlbear den, beat up the owlbear. Then the little baby came out and decided not to attack it. And then the little baby started to eat the mother owlbear. So that was, probably should have killed that thing. That's kind of a catch and release idea right there. We need to keep the young owlbears around so the future adventurers who are looking for some XP have something to hunt. So we got to be careful with that. I don't want the Faerun Fish and Wildlife to come after me because I killed a owlbear that was either out of season or undersized. That would be not be good. We got tieflings everywhere. Found an articulate ogre. Talked him into helping me. He gave me a horn, and we had a big fight with a bunch of goblins. Blew the horn. 3 ogres showed up. Helped me. And then, oops, we got rid of them too. So anyway, they had stuff too that I wanted. Fell into a hole. Found some adventurers down there who immediately attacked me. Some of the most dangerous foes have been other adventurers in this game so far. A couple different adventuring groups I've found. We looted the place. That's where we found Withers. He was hanging out in there. We scared some goblins away as I talked. We took out an entire goblin headquarters. Talked our way into it. Actually started a battle outside, and there was 25 goblins. We got absolutely annihilated. Then I sort of talked myself into it, got a little bit deeper, took out their leadership, and actually worked my way back out. I thought that was actually pretty cool, the way that happened. In the meantime and all that, I actually got captured by their cleric person, and she tried to dissect me. I think she was trying to get the worm out of my head. Took her out, got back together with the group, and then fought our way out. So a lot of stuff, man. Done a lot of stuff. Really cool, actually. And as I'm sitting here recounting some of it, there's probably another 20 things that are on the first chapter that we did that I'm not even mentioning. And that's good because I don't want to spoil everything for everybody. So that's pretty much it for the update, guys. I'm about to go talk to Zeres right here, and we'll start this fight. Probably loot this place as best we can, and we're going to move on into the Underdark because there is a entrance. There's about 3 of them that I've found, but we're going to use this one here because we're going to clear out this dungeon and see what kind of goodies we can get right here. So I'll show you what I mean. We're going to go ahead and come talk to old Zeres here.
Not many can talk their way into a Zentarim outpost.
But I can.
Could use someone with your skills.
No, that's not going to go well. I already know how it's going to go. So you say, a job? You're ready to kill me.
Still am as it goes. Take it as a mark of respect.
Okay.
But right now, I reckon we're better off friends than enemies.
Yes, I
You
agree.
interested or not?
So I say that depends. What is the job?
Some of our people are missing. More importantly, so is their
Yeah,
cargo.
sorry about
Find
that.
them. Keep them alive if you can. Failing that, just bring that shipment back. Unopened.
Oh, about that. All right, I already found them. They're dead.
God damn it. What about the shipment?
Well, you see, you remember the flask. The flask is where the spectator was, which I've already opened, and she already helped me kill the spectator. So I don't really know how that works in terms of making up my own story, but apparently she just did not find that strange that a spectator showed up. So then I tell her, oh, here you go. Also, it's empty now. Look at my smile. I'm like, hey.
Opened the shipment.
Yeah, no problem.
You've
Hey.
killed me.
Oh.
You've
Oh.
bloody killed us all.
Oh. What? Wait.
Damned if I won't return the favour.
Hold on now. Wait a minute. No.
Kill him.
Honestly, that's about the 5th time that I have. Hey! Wait, why is there more of them? Did he just kill? No, he didn't. That's interesting because I started the last time I started this fight, there weren't nearly this many of them. All right, let's see what we can do, guys. We're going to take these guys out. So that's the order in which you go. So why are we should have started the attack because we're just on our back foot. But Astarion's got this sorted out, so we're going to move him. I wonder if we can get over here and get a... What is that? No, we don't. I'm wondering if he can get over here and get an advantage attack. Because he can sneak attack these guys. Here we go. So, also, too... About him. Nope. Alright, so we have an advantage, and we're going to go ahead and use... Prevent your target from gaining hit points. 1d4 necrotic. Let's go with Roaring Thunder. No extra damage. See, the problem is if I get splash damage, it's going to hit Guido Bland, but I don't think I really care. We're just going to fire this guy up. Maybe. If we hit him. Well, it was a good hit, but it didn't take him out. Now, I have a few more points left, but unfortunately there's nothing I can do. I'm going to go ahead and do Hunter's Mark on this guy. And we have to end turn, so that's all we can do. And she's going to go, and this other guy's going to go. I'm going to Sonic Backlash. That's actually a power from the tadpole. Sometimes they sit around waiting. I'm not sure what they're waiting for. I don't know if maybe the AI gets in a bit of a loop here and can't figure out what it wants to do. In fact, it seems to make... Well, this is a problem I've not run into. There we go. That just took a while to figure out. Alright, so now we've got Gale, who's the big wizard guy. I haven't cast a fireball yet, guys. I'm sort of excited. So we're going to do this now, I think. Do I not have a fireball? Where is it? Oh, no, never mind. This is Shadowheart, not Gale. Darn, I thought it was Fireball time. Alright, so Shadowheart. Spirit Guardians. Can I run up here and cast it? She's got 25 hit points. I need her to go away. Anybody hurt? So I want to double check. Nobody needs healing necessarily. We have color spray. Kind of like Spirit Guardians here, man. What is this? Bestow Curse. Let's go up here and make some Guardians.
On I go.
Oh, I took a hit. Where is it? There we go. Boom. 3. Oh, okay. So Necrotic or Radiant. Let's go Radiant. Oh, wow. Like an auto hit on that person. Can we slap them too? No, we don't have any. We've all taken damage, so let's just cast mass healing. Hopefully this is only on my buddies. Appears to be. Good, good, good. And we'll just end our turn here.
I don't fancy that, Joneses.
Now it's Gale's turn. Now it's time to chuck the fireball, fellas. I haven't done one of these yet. Here's the problem, though. My understanding is there's a lot of explodey stuff here. Is that how big the circle is? Oh, I don't want to do that. Is this going to get all of us? Oh my gosh, look how big this thing is. Nope, we're not doing that, fellas. How about a lightning bolt? I didn't realize it was that big. Oh, it's going to nail both these dudes. This is perfect. Alright, lightning bolt. Second best option. Let them have it, Gale. Oh, look at that. Zapped them both. That's fantastic. What does this do? Crenan's Grace, Pugilist, blah, blah, blah. I guess, can I hit? No, we're just going to end our... Can we get up here? Oh, there used to be a ladder here. I blew it up. That's funny. I blew the ladder up. Let's just run away here. There we go.
Time to push my luck again.
And she is not the last one. I gotta... That's that one. Wait, what? Bellar? Garrett. Where's this other person? There's another person somewhere that I don't see. That's her. That's Darren. Those are just people who haven't gone. Oh, I see what's going on here. Where's Brem? Oh, he's right here in front of me. Okay. Brem's the traitor. I think she's more dangerous. Let's go take Zeres out. And we're going to use maneuvering attack, which is a better attack. Oh! We missed. We do it again. There we go. Alright, she's done for. Now, we're going to go Action Surge, which gives you more action points. You get one of those a battle, basically. And then we're going to use Maneuvering Attack on this guy again. And we drop him. And just like that, my friends, we have one... Oh, geez, what the heck happened? For some reason we took damage at the end right there. Okay, stop it. What is happening here? Fire? Not really sure what's happening. Hopefully I'm done taking damage for no reason. That's something that's hard to keep track of until you start to really learn the actual game and what's going on. You take these extra pieces of damage, you know, extra bits of damage, you don't really know why. Alright, so we've done this. We're going to save it, go on. Unfortunately, I think there's actually more people in here that I'm going to have to take on. But they're probably the toughest. Now I can go loot the entire place, because all this stuff was red. So hopefully they got some goodies for me. You know, Guido Bland, the okayest fighter and now thief in all of Faerun. There you go, fellas. Trying to keep this under an hour this time. So only 30 minutes. There you go. My update on what's going on with Baldur's Gate 2. Still enjoying it very much. We're going to enter the Underdark here really soon as we loot the Zentarum basement. I know this is going to go poorly for me in further chapters because I'm betting there's missions and probably good loot and maybe good traders and stuff that I'm no longer going to have access to. Though I don't know how they would know I did this. Not sure. Not sure. Alright guys, that's all I've got. Have a good weekend. We will see ya.